Well, I see you, Jayson Tatum, doing a little bit of late evening recruiting. So it's no secret. I've told you guys on this platform over the last couple of days, Bradley Beal could be out of Washington. Again, we've heard trade rumors and speculation for years now about Bradley Beal, but he ended up re-signing with the team. He played this year, but oftentimes his body language is ugly. And look, I think Bradley Beal is an incredible scorer, but I don't believe you're going to win anything significantly with him as your number one option or number two option. I don't think he's that in this league. I don't. I think he's a great scorer, but I think a lot of his buckets are irrelevant. He ain't playing no defense. All due respect to him, I just don't think he's a guy that can be on a winning club. Now, if you bring him down to a third or fourth option, you're definitely in contention to win championships. A lot of them, as a matter of fact, because Bradley Beal's stroke is beautiful. So the Golden State Warriors have these picks, these assets to go get somebody. And I think, and I don't know this is not reported, I'm just telling y'all what I think. You know, Bradley Beal did step away from Team USA the other day to COVID, whatever. I believe this. I think Bradley Beal looked up and said, man, I play in Washington. You know, Westbrook was all-time level this year in the regular season. At best, we could do was barely make our way into a play-in tournament. We got in the big dance and then lost in the first round to the Sixers. Philly's going to be better if they're – worst case, they'll be the same. Like, as bad as Philly was at times against the Hawks in the second round, like, even though Ben Simmons can't shoot or doesn't shoot, they still beat up on the Wizards. Look around if you're the Wizards right now, right? Like, Philly, if they do trade Ben Simmons, that means they'll probably be better. The Brooklyn Nets will be back in more times than not healthy next year with something to prove. The NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks will be better next year. Giannis got that burden off his back. They'll be better next year. Some of these young teams like Boston, we expect to bounce back. The Hawks, can they keep that momentum in the right direction? Where does that leave Washington? You can't ask Westbrook to play better than what he did this year, and Beal was second in the league in scoring. I think Beal looked around and said, I might want out. And I maybe want to demand a trade now while I know there's a team out there like Golden State that could easily propel my career to heights that I maybe wasn't even thinking about or maybe wasn't feasible playing as a Wizard right now. I think he's considering demanding a trade right now. And I think it's starting to make its way around the league. When you see a guy like Jayson Tatum, he's in Tokyo right now, making remarks and comments. He was in my shout out to my boy Famous Lowe's. I've interviewed Famous Lowe's before. Famous Lowe's was posting about the potential of a Bradley Beal trade request. And look who dropped into the comments section. None other than Jayson Tatum with the little four-leaf clover. Obviously referencing the Boston Celtics. Praying that Tatum could recruit his St. Louis guy Bradley Beal to Boston instead of Golden State. You know, that's interesting for a multitude of reasons. I don't know, man. I hope Tatum realizes that to bring in Bradley Beal, it would probably mean he loses guy Jaylen Brown. He doesn't think they're going to have Beal, Brown, and Tatum, right? You would have to believe the Celtics would have to move off of Brown. That's interesting. I wonder how Jaylen Brown perceives that one. But, yeah, I mean, Tatum's clearly recruiting Bradley Beal on Instagram like, yo, we would love to have you in that Boston green. And look, I'm sure Tatum, who's now in constant communication with his former coach now in the front office in Boston, and Brad Stevens, I'm sure he's talking to Brad like, yo, I would love to have this guy. Can we make this happen? So let's not rule out Boston. Obviously, it wouldn't be as dramatic a move as if Bradley Beal ended up in Golden State, but maybe the Golden State trade rumors opens the door to Washington to be more willing to trade Bradley Beal, and maybe the Celtics could come in last minute and sweep the Wizards off their feet. Maybe the Wizards are like, hey, we don't want to completely rebuild. Jaylen Brown's a good enough piece to get a trade started, and we'll go from there. I don't know. We will see. Only time will tell. Bradley Beal's name is going to be one of the hottest as we inch closer and closer to the NBA draft. Expect his name by Tuesday or Wednesday to be hot. All right? And Jayson Tatum's adding fuel to that fire with that four-leaf clover, signifying that he would like Beal to join the Boston Celtics.